Alright, this is Andrew with Jota Home Inspections. We are doing a sewer scope today here in Sandy. Today is February 11th, 2026. We have the camera pushed out 87 feet. We're at 10973 Avila Drive. And what you're seeing on the screen now, that's the city connection. Now we're going to pull it back and record it and see what we find. So this first connection point is called the nose on. That's where it goes from your lateral line into the main city line. It looks like gravel cement, and then immediately following is PVC. And that's what this white pipe is PVC. PVC is plastic, and so typically you don't tend to get as much buildup on PVC as you do some of the older types of pipe. It doesn't rust like the old cast iron would. Less joints than clay. So PVC can be good to have as a start. You have right here, this is unique. So this is looks like a clean out. So this is another access point somewhere outside. Typically you don't see that part of the pipe on the top extending into the lateral line. Usually that's a glued fitting, and I mean with newer connections, I don't know of a way that pipe would push in. I wonder what's happened is if over time that has been pushed down, or if it's in the area that it was driven over. You know, it could have been years ago when the landscape was being worked on, but in either case, that's not a normal connection right there. It's not pushing in so far that it's blocking the pipe. You know, if you had that coming into the bottom or something, or the side even, it'd be a lot more concerning. I'd say that's non-standard, but it doesn't seem like it's causing an issue right now. And as long as it doesn't move, I wouldn't expect it to, but it is a little strange. No standing water, and that's one of the main things I'm looking at, is for any standing water, which would indicate improper grade. This is looking good. Even with a plastic line, if you don't have proper grade, you can have a lot of problems. Now we're transitioning to ABS, which is what was used inside the house and under the slab. And so this is under the basement slab at this point. Little standing water there, but not even enough to cover my camera head. And at this point I've done the inspection, and so I've ran a significant amount of water. And so if he did have a belly, we would be seeing it. One issue with some of the older ABS is that sometimes the glued joints can have a tendency of separating, and you can get small leaks on the connection points inside the house. A bunch of them are visible in the mechanical room, but you have many that are going to be concealed in walls that we're not able to see. Looks like some of these might have been replaced, and so it's not as insightful, but I'm not seeing corrosion on these lines, which is a good sign. Now overall the line looks like it's really performing the way that you want it to be. You have that one clean out with the pipe extending into the top of the pipe a little further than I would expect. But again, it doesn't look like it's causing any sort of a blockage, and on the top of the pipe, as long as it doesn't move, I wouldn't expect it to cause a problem. You can always consider getting the insurance on the line. Other houses I would recommend it a little more than here, but it's never a bad idea, and in that way if you do have an issue they can help offset the cost, and it's fairly inexpensive, but home serve is one of the more popular options in Utah. We're going to end this recording now.